Michael in Palm Bay, Florida. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. And today I'm going to cut Transitions Essilor brand Transition Signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Sapphire. For your Oakley, the 8107, the trim plane. Now these come with interchangeable nose pads. Of course, this is your Oakley carrying bag double / cleaning cloth. Take everything out. This is the, let's grab my flashlight, the Oakley 8107 color 01, which is the satin black and the 53 eye size, and this is the trim plane. So I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses that come in the frame. And actually, let me look at those. Yeah, I can cut that bevel. I'm going to take your frame, put it into the tracing element of my blocker, and program this shape in there. You're a secret agent 1391. So years from now, should you ever need new lenses for this frame, I can mail them right to you. You won't need to mail me the frame. So I'm going to hit start. A little stylus is going to pop up and go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy genuine, authentic Oakley frame, and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. And I want to give a shout out to Michael. He works for one of the greatest companies out there, which is UPS. He is one of their drivers. I could not make any of this happen without that. All of my frames that you see, they're all delivered by UPS. All of my lenses you see me cut, all delivered by UPS. They are a great company. I would not be in business if it wasn't for them. These guys are great. In fact, I generally try and get here by 9 in the morning, but usually he's in the parking lot waiting for me to unlock the door, and that is service. So I can call if I need to ship anything to my lab. There's a few Oakleys I can't cut for, and I just call them up, put an overnight label on it. They'll come pick it up and take it right to my lab. So shout out to UPS, hats off, all the above. So let's bring that up onto the next screen. Pupillary distance for the right eye is 31. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to drop that to 31. I want to raise the optical center up 2 millimeters to 21. 2 above to 21. Now we can go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Your right eye reads -75, -75 at 105, -75, -75. I still got that lamp on. There we go. Is that warm? No, it's not. That's amazing. At 105. Sorry, I saw something shining, got distracted. I promise not to get emotional tonight in this video like I did last night. I told my wife I came home and said, I cried during the video. But it was a very sad subject. But, you know, we got to keep going. Life is for the living. So, let me put some more ink in my lensometer. Someone said that my lensometer has performance anxieties. That's why I didn't want to dot while everyone's looking. And let's put another one right there. Put the cap back on there. Pull the, let's see, -75, -75. Take the lens out of the protective sleeve. It comes with a little laminate on the front of the lens that protects the lens during shipping. Of course, UPS ain't going to let nothing happen to them, but you never know. So, put the power drum, let's make sure everything's on 0, and it is. Put the power drum on -75. Rotate the lens until I didn't even have to rotate it much, till the spherical component comes into view. And put 3 dots on your lenses. Are they there? Where's that middle dot? I can barely see it. Hang on. Alright, you. Alright, you. Oh, man. I really got to do something about this situation. Maybe it's just my ink or something's happening. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it. I can't even tear tissue right. So, let me bring this back up. We're still on -75. Put the lens in. Put 3 dots on your lenses if they're going to cooperate. And they do, just barely. So let me take my pen, put a dot there. That one we can actually see, and a dot there. This is the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left. I'm going to come back and mark these. I want to get these dotted up for the ink dries again. -1, -1/4, -1, -1/4 at 90. Turn the axis wheel to 90. Put the power drum on -1. And find the center of the lens. Check your astigmatism correction. Everything looks good there. Come on, ink. Work with me, ink. Or I'm going to have to scream. Alright, that one's a little better. Maybe it just takes time to soak in. This is the left lens. And if you guys missed any of that, say it with me. Let me recap. You moan, but you'll be telling that joke. People even say that to me in the emails. So again, -75, -75 to make sure you're getting the real thing, that you're getting the Essilor Airwear Transition Signature 7 gray lenses with Crizal Sapphire 360. I'm going to mark on there first the power of the lens, and then what it is, so that when you get these in the mail and everyone gets the original packets to verify that that's what they're getting. That is the left lens. This is the right lens. Now say it with me. Yeah, y'all just say it at home. So, but, alright, so where are we at? I need a block. I need 2 blocks. I need Jenny from the block. I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers to attach this to your lens to make sure that it cuts okay. Stick that onto the first one. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet that's on the back there. The reason why I put those 3 dots on the lens is it tells me that it's oriented and they're just perfectly. I'm going to get that lined up exactly where it's supposed to be and hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're now going to do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right, which will be played by the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Line that up. Pupillary distance is 31.5. Tap the plus button one time, 31.5, same optical center height. Make sure everything is lined up in there perfectly. Hit that button and the arm comes down, places the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter. Then you can cut your own lenses at home. You won't need this guy with the 2 thumbs and the non-functioning lensometer to cut your lenses for you. The diamond crusted wheel on the left is going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material from this size down to this size. This wheel in the center, that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and wake up the computer. You are job number 1391. 1391. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, Hindex plastic, or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay with polycarbonate. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen anyway. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a safety bevel on the rear concave surface of the lens. Press that on there firmly. Line up this magnet to another magnet there in the chuck. Of course, by now you know I like to call it the Charles. Why? Because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. Hit the green arrow at your start. The door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the right lens. And then the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Which with your prescription in this frame, you'll probably have hardly any at best, but that is critical with the stronger powers that I cut all day long for how much? For free when you buy a frame from me. Now the light you see flickering in the background is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Should this lens ever touch down on the cutting wheel, hey, we have contact. But polycarbonate lenses cut dry, meaning that water does not spray onto the lens while it is cutting. Now water will spray onto the lens, but only for the last 20 seconds just to wash away the optical debris. Now on the contrary, Plastic, high index plastic, and Trivex lenses cut wet, meaning that those materials have water spraying onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle. But as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high impact ballistics grade lenses. These are the same lens materials that our soldiers wear overseas in their Oakleys when they're in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and flying debris. It's also the same lens material that OSHA requires that factory employees wear when they're on the factory floor. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin there in Palm Bay, Florida. This is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to put on every couple hours when you're in direct exposure there. Now, as I mentioned, these are the Essilor brand of lenses. Essilor calls polycarbonate air wear because they feel they're as light as air to wear. Again, the TR stands for transitions, the Roman numeral 7 for gray, or I'm sorry, for transition signature 7, and GR stands for gray, the Crizal Sapphire 360 UV protection. And if you don't believe me, it says it right there, transition signature 7 gray. So there you have it. Now I'll demonstrate the transitions later, but the Crizal Sapphire, apart from being the clearest of any of the anti-glare coatings out there, but the machine that applies the Crizal, well, let me back up. It's 3 features in one. It reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. It goes by the initials ARC, which stands for anti-reflective coating. So it reduces reflection. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, so it makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if someone takes a picture with a flash, or if you take a selfie, you're less likely to see the reflection of the camera in the lens. Now, as I alluded to before, the third feature that I like, the practical side, the machine that applies the Crizal anti-glare costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto your lens, 8 different layers of protection. It has to dry, it has to be clean and washed in between. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. And again, Crizal Sapphire has the least amount of reflection. They changed not just the angle of the reflection, but the angle. So before you could see it at different things. Now you have to be 15 degrees away to actually see a reflection off of the lens. Before it was 45 degrees. So now we're going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Use my thumbs, push down at the nose. It snaps in easily. Let's go ahead and flip that over to L. Press that on there firmly. Place the magnet into the chuck, or by now I like to call it the Dirty Larry, named after Larry, who is the least attractive person on here. He's even less attractive than this dog. And all right, I'm not going to get emotional, but so this 13-year-old girl died over the weekend. She is the daughter of the guy who taught me how to cut lenses. He taught me all the formulas to get through school. Cutting lenses is actually the easy part. It's the mathematical stuff behind it that you don't see. His daughter passed away and died. She donated her eyes to medical science, and so far 2 people have been re-gifted sight because of that. So that beautiful blue eye standing in front of this beautiful blue ocean is no longer in her head and is now in another living body. What am I doing? Hit start. Is in another living body using it. So, love the ones you have near you. Tell them, hold them, squeeze them until they push you away, saying that you're embarrassing them. But it's true. You never know how long you're going to spend time with someone until it's all gone. And then you don't have time to tell them you love them or how you feel. Alright, I'm not getting emotional, I promise. So, I'm going to be this tough guy in the leather coat over here in the Harley Davidson. So, let's go ahead and inspect the right eye. We can take this block off. Pull the sticker away, dry the block off. Put the sticker on that collection, come back down here to the lensometer, spin the fine tune knob to 105. Put the lens in above the non-existent black dot that washed off. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. So we're going to put that in there. Find the optical center, check the power. Before anything happens, I'm putting a dot on this lens. And that better be there. But your right lens reads -75, -75 at 105. -75, one tick mark away from 1 that has ink on there. So -0, which is no power, -1/4, -50, -75, 1. Let's check the astigmatism correction. We end up at -150. Which is the second curve on your eye. You have a spherical curve, which is 3 steps of far-sighted correction. Once everything is the correct size, we need to take away the fuzzy edges. That's what the astigmatism does. It makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So you have a second curve. You have 3 steps far-sighted correction, 3 steps of astigmatism correction. That's how we line those 2 curves up to make everything nice and crisp. I used to like to do this to explain that, but someone says, isn't it fixed on there? Someone who is a student or knowledgeable, and I say, you know what, you're right, I got to quit doing that. I'm setting a bad example. So we're going to line that fine-tune knob up to 105. The straight line is 0 to 90 to 180. We're going to go just past the 90th meridian to 105. Now the left eye, you have 4 steps of far-sighted correction, but you have the smallest amount of astigmatism correction possible. You have 1 step, so we're going to end up at a total of -125. We're going to turn that exactly to the 90th meridian. Now the Oakley 8107 trim plane sells for $163. Of course, when you buy the frame from me, you get a free set of clear lenses. The upgrade to Transitions Gray is $69.99. The Crizal Sapphire is $139.99 for a total of $372.98, which, if I'm not mistaken, is about what someone would charge you just for single vision Crizal Sapphire lenses. In most places, you can get the frame and Transitions for the price that someone's just going to charge you for Crizal Sapphire. Now, if you have your own frame, I do charge $49.99 for the lenses. When you supply the frame, the Transitions and the Crizal Sapphire still stays the same. So in just a moment, I'm going to open this door with my mind. My mind's running a little slow. There we go. So, dry the lens off, run my thumbnail around, make sure there's no optical sawdust on the edge of your lens. Let's find your frame. Hey, good, the black dot is on there. Oop, I still see it. Hopefully it won't come off with the sticker. Tuck the lens in at the outside corner. Push down at the nose. It snaps right in. Let's go ahead and take this block off. Pull the sticker away, dry that off with my hand, throw the sticker on there. Yes, we have dot. Never been so happy before to see a dot. So, turn the axis wheel to 90, the fine-tune knob, put it in over that black dot. And when we read the power, we're getting 1. You have 1 step of astigmatism correction. Let's check for that. Turn the knob the least amount and we're at 1 1/4. I tell you, I couldn't have done a better job if I'd cut these lenses myself. Your PD is 31 for the right eye, 31.5 for the left, for a total of 62.5. When we place the PD stick against my thumb on the right lens, when we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 62.5, so that is cut perfectly. Let's check the optical center height of 21. When we look down to the middle of the bottom of the frame, we're getting 21. Do the same thing on this side. We're getting 21. Man, the kit is good. So this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that there's free shipping anywhere in the US, and of course Palm Bay, Florida is still in the US, but when you get these in the mail, there is a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. And I'll show you that in just a moment. The Crizal Sapphire has a powdery coating on the lens so that it sticks to the block in the cutter and doesn't slip. Because of that, I need to clean it a little bit more. And then I will demonstrate the transitions. Get that cleaned off, and of course I'm going to pre-test your cleaning cloth to make sure that it works. So when you get this in the mail, of course I send out a selfie request to have your picture on the website. I even mentioned to him when I talked to him on the phone, I'm going to find him a brown frame that goes with his UPS uniform. But I would love a selfie of you standing outside of your truck. That would be awesome. But I also send out instructions not only to how to care for your frame and lenses, but for your cleaning cloth, the Oakley one, the premium one that I provide, the Crizal cleaning cloth that you're going to get with the Sapphire, and your case. So those two will last you for years. So this is what your lenses look like the first time. I mean, what they actually have before they've been activated for the first time. They're still clear. Crizal Sapphire, when you do see the reflection, has a bluish hue to it. Oh, I need to get it in standard alignment. So again, 3-point stance, 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, normally my glasses wobble, but I have the same pilot temples. They're called that because if you imagine a World War II pilot with a fighter helmet on, you can slide these on and off without having to take the helmet off. But normally all of my glasses, you press on one side and they wobble, but they sit level on me. I'm wearing the Oakley 8132 cross range switch in the color 04 or 05, the universe blue, because I'm all about me some blue orange. I'm always wearing a blue shirt. Pass out the orange cleaning cloths. No, I'm not a Florida Gators fan. Unless you are, Michael, then yeah, I'm a Gators fan. What is their thing? Okay. So, of course, the NC State Wolfpack next door has this thing. How cute is that? I'm not even a Wolfpack fan, but that's adorable. I'll give you that. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. Flip that over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, that neither temple is askew. So again, this is the first time. While they're still clear, I'm going to go ahead and activate them, which means I'm exposing them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now, as you can see, all transition lenses, well, it takes about 45 seconds to a minute to turn dark. It takes a little bit longer, a minute to a minute 15 when you come back inside. Now, pay attention, Michael, and everyone else. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks they're exposed. After that, they will work for years at maximum performance. The only time they won't work, the Signature 7, is if you're behind a windshield. The windshield blocks the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. Now, the other thing is they're temperature sensitive. Since you do live in Florida, this is a little more critical for people who live in hotter weather. They will get darker outside when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. Now, this is the first time they have been activated. Don't worry, they're going to get darker. Come on, Michael, we talked about that. Don't you remember? But now the Transition Extra Active will get darker outside in hotter weather because they're designed for extra active people. So, but yeah, that blue hue looks awesome. I have it on mine because, again, I'm all about some blue. I got the Crizal Sapphire. You see it more while they're activated. But if you've liked what you're seeing, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com. If you have any questions, you can email me at the contact me button or on freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. You can also leave a question or comment in the comment section below. And I forgot to mention, I am an authorized Oakley dealer, but as a small independent optician, I am told that I'm not allowed to individually list all the frames on the website with the prices like I can for Harley, like I can for BMW, like I can for Ray-Ban, like I can for Versace. Oakley says I can't do it, that only 10 major companies are allowed. So I play by the rules because I don't want to lose the collection. So if there's a frame you want, just email me or message me. Tell me the model number, the size, and the color, and I will get it for you. The same way I'm going to find Michael a brown pair. But that's it. So again, Michael, thank you so much for getting the Transition Signature 7 lenses with Crizal Sapphire in the Oakley. Where's my flashlight? The Oakley 8107 trim plane, color 01, which is the satin black and the 53 eye size. And everyone else has got a chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.